But I think, you know, him knowing the caliber of fighter that I am is going to push him to raise
him to the occasion.
Yeah. So I'm looking to fight the best Canelo Alvarez there is.
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2" like before.
There's a different style, you know. I mean, they're both good fighters, so it's hard to compare.
Crawford, but you know, it's the crazy fight. You know, it's too much. It's too much fun for Crawford. I mean, I know he do it for the money.
Terence Crawford criticized Canelo Alvarez. Levan said Bivol had found out about him. This set the stage for a heated fight that fans had not expected. There was a recent talk with Crawford-Canelo. He directly asked if the Mexican great boxer was still the same fighter he used to be. Crawford pointed out that Canelo's most recent fights don't look like the ones he used to have. He used his fight with Dimitri Bivol as an example of this.
I wouldn't say that. I just feel like, you know, it just takes certain fighters to motivate other fighters. You know, like you waking up the sleeping giant. You know, the fights that he's been fighting, he's just like, oh, man,
yeah,
these guys, you know. Well, but I think, you know, him knowing the caliber of fighter that I am is going to push him to raise
him to the occasion.
Yeah. So I'm looking to fight the best Canelo Alvarez.
Crawford says that Bivol's win over Canelo was more than just a decision. A beating showed flaws in a person who was thought to be unbeatable before. The meaning was plain. Crawford thinks Bivol can do even more damage when he gains weight if he can beat Canelo.
Like I'm about to conquer the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think you'd have got on a super middleweight with a Cobra. You're in my division now, man. You're in my division now.
Man, listen. I'd have beat you too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How would you have done it though?
It'd have been tough, man, because you tall, long, rangy. That'd have been tough.
Tough fight.
Yeah, that'd have been tough.
I'll take that. I respect that.
That'd have been real tough.
However, not everyone agrees with Crawford's viewpoint. Hamza Shiraz, a rising British middleweight, believes Canelo will defeat him. Shiraz noticed the significant weight class difference and the difficulty Crawford would experience in transitioning to a division that is not his natural one. Shiraz thinks that Crawford's skill will only get him so far when his size and strength become a problem. He thinks that Crawford is very talented, but that if the fight is at super middleweight, Crawford will be stronger.
My kind of perspective on that fight is, I feel like number one, there's a weight class for reasons, and I feel like if we're basing it off their last performances, Canelo had the better performance, I believe, even though he had a negative fight in front of him. And I feel like Crawford struggled a little bit with Madrimov's physicality. It was very physical, and I feel like he struggled a little bit with it. And then you got to remember, Canelo's a big dude. He's a big dude. He's strong. He knows how to use his size. But then at the same time, at that level, you can't write off fighters like Crawford because he's so skillful. So him going up 2 weights, he could defy the odds because he's a generational great. But if I had to kind of put my money on it, I'd put my money on Canelo Alvarez to win via a stop.
David Morales comments presented Terence Crawford as a dangerous and calculating boxer who may be taking on too much by chasing Canelo Alvarez. While acknowledging Crawford's exceptional skill set and strong boxing mindset, Mora stated that Canelo is a difficult opponent for anyone, regardless of quality. His analysis concluded that the potential clash appears to be motivated by money considerations more than boxing logic. Despite admiring Crawford's ability, Mora questioned his chances at super middleweight, saying that Canelo's sheer power and physical presence may be too much for Crawford to overcome in the ring.
It's a crazy fight, you know. It's too much fun for Crawford. I mean, I know he do it for the money, but it's too much. It's too much pound for Crawford, and Canelo is not easy. You know, Canelo is stronger. It's difficult. It's difficult for Crawford to win the fight or to stay the 12th round. So, you know, I say 60-40 for Canelo.
With so many people chiming in, it's clear that a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is more than just a dream matchup. It's a real chance with a lot of attention behind it. The disparity between the combatants' styles, weight differences, and public personas make this one of the most anticipated fights in boxing.
When that fight's going to take place, but you know, it's obvious, I think, that both men want to make sure they don't cede the high ground in terms of the psychological battle. I mean, even Canelo, Crawford, you know, has kind of gotten under his skin enough so that we see that side of Canelo, which comes out every once in a while, where he's more rambunctious and maybe hostile. But it was, you know, I think the thing about this event is, as the promotional stuff goes on, you know, I think we're going to see more and more of that kind of psychological spar.
Antonio Tarver, past light heavyweight champion, has power. Tarver did not discount Canelo's hitting power at 168 pounds, but did say that Crawford possesses the skill set and mental strength to withstand it.
Oh, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2", like Bivol or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing, the most important thing. It's going to be skill set. And both of them coming with their skill set. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing. Those guys aren't going to get him ready for a downright problem. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grinding, turn back the hands of times.
According to Tarver, if Crawford can survive the early onslaught and stay collected under duress, his technical ability and ring IQ may swing the battle in his favor. Tarver stated clearly that neither man would be fighting. Crawford, on the other hand, has a real chance if he can pass the physical test.
Because he showed up like he did against Skull. He showed up like he did against Benavidez, not Benavidez, but Berlanga, and the other guy. What's the other guy name? Munguia. Bro, those guys, that ain't gonna, he didn't have enough activity. The last time I saw Canelo that would beat, I think, this Crawford was Plant. Now, if that Canelo come cutting the ring, all throwing combination to the head and to the body, active, it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And I still think I give Crawford a chance even then. So that's what type of talent I think Crawford is. He's definitely gonna have to get used to that power.
Even famous announcer Michael Buffer commented on the possible meeting. While Buffer did not support a particular fighter, he did predict that a bout between Crawford and Canelo would be exceedingly close. His remark reflected a growing belief in the boxing business that Crawford could fight at a heavier weight despite the hurdles. The fact that even veteran insiders can't confidently predict a winner shows how evenly matched this dream bout may be, even if they're in different weight classes.
Michael, it's not a big fight unless you're announcing it. Canelo versus Crawford. How do you see that one going?
I think it's going to be a close and interesting fight.
Right.
I think it's going to be a technical fight, not a talent fight.
Now, what do you think about Dana White promoting it? You think
he's only proven himself to be one of the greatest promoters in the history of sports.
So he's good, pretty good deal. He's good for boxing.
Oh yeah, he'll know what to do.
Because some people like De La Hoya have been a little critical of him, but he has the Michael Buffer approval, obviously. For sure. You're the man. Thank you.
Manny Pacquiao answered candidly when asked about Canelo's claim that Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather. The iconic Filipino icon did not go into detail about the similarities, but seems astonished that Canelo would rank Crawford higher than Mayweather. Given their personal relationship, Canelo's remarks sparked outrage throughout the sport, as many still regard Mayweather's win over Canelo as one of the most one-sided masterclasses in recent history.
Crawford what? Better than Floyd Mayweather. Canelo said that.
Crawford can beat.
No, Crawford said Canelo. Canelo said Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think? What's your assessment on that?
It's a different style, you know. I mean, they're both good fighters, so it's hard to compare yourself to others.
Pacquiao's response height and the intrigue, implying that Canelo may be seeking to denigrate his former foe while raising Crawford's reputation, possibly as part of a build-up to a future showdown. David Benavidez, a top contender in the super middleweight division, to voiced his opinion he would not be surprised if Crawford pulled off an upset. Benavidez agreed that, while Canelo has the stature and experience at 168, Crawford's technique and adaptability are uncommon. That's a strong endorsement coming from a fighter who has fought against top-tier opponents and is well-versed in the division. Benavidez's point of view suggests a change in perception, with Crawford being viewed as a threat even in a weight class in which he has never fought.
Does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight, you know what I mean? And he didn't have a hard time at 154, but he wasn't like, you know what I mean? The other guy was getting him with some good punches, you know what I mean? So he felt the power at 154. So imagine you go up to 160, 160. Madrimov, yeah, Madrimov is a good fighter. And then, you know, you're fighting a strong fighter like Canelo. So, I mean, I feel like it's like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if he loses.
Sugar Ray Leonard also joined the talk. Not to debate who would win between Crawford and Canelo, but to challenge the similarities being made between them and icons such as Mayweather. Leonard seemed suspicious of the idea that Canelo, even Crawford, can be compared to Mayweather's skill level and career accomplishments. His statement brought in the conversation, telling supporters that, while this possible conflict is significant, it's critical to differentiate between present height and proven legacy. Still, the fact that Leonard is discussing Crawford in the same conversation shows how well regarded the Omaha native has become.
Crawford tried to push up on Canelo there. It looked like Canelo wasn't pushed back too much, and he actually pushed Crawford, sent him back a little bit. Did you get a chance to see that face-off and their physical interactions or whatnot? And
Not really. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Last
you,
one for you, Ray. Size or speed? What usually wins in fights? Because that's what they're saying the tale of Canelo Crawford is.
Speed. I like speed.
Sergio Mora also made a prediction, describing Crawford as a cruel guy and saying that edge could be enough to put him over the top versus Canelo. Mora emphasized Crawford's attitude and intensity, which can make the difference in close games. According to him, Crawford's cold, competitive mindset could be a more powerful weapon than any jab or cross he throws. Mora's perspective offers another level to the research, focusing not only on competence, but also on mentality.
Listen, man, you know, for a long time I kept saying, you know, a great big man will beat a great small man. That's just how it is in boxing. But after Canelo's last performance, like many people, man, he struggled against a guy in cutting off the ring, a longer guy that wasn't trying to make it a fight. And Canelo has lost a step. Let's keep it real. I mean, this is a man with over 65 fights. He's been fighting professionally since he was 15 years old. Yes. There's wear and tear, there's injury. He can turn old overnight. Yes. And believe it or not, he's younger than Crawford.
Despite being younger than Crawford in age, Mora claimed that Canelo has substantially more mileage. Crawford, on the other hand, he believed to be the younger of the two, although being 37 years old. Mora pointed out that Crawford appears to be adding size in the right spots and physically looks great, potentially even larger than Canelo in frame and form. He commended Crawford's discipline and mental toughness, which he thinks will be crucial in the fight.
But Crawford doesn't have those miles. You know, Crawford's 37 years old. He can turn old overnight. But I still like Crawford, man. He's just a mean dude. He's been bulking up nicely, doing it the right way. He looks bigger. He looks bigger than Canelo right now as far as like height, the shoulders. I think it's going to be a decision type.
However, Mora predicted that while Crawford would put on a solid and possibly painful performance, Canelo will ultimately win. On the scorecard, he envisioned a competitive fight that went the full, with Canelo taking damage but doing enough to achieve a decision win. Crawford is in this fight, and I don't think Canelo will come out unhurt. I believe he will leave bruised and beaten, but he will still win the decision. Shocker Stevenson, a fellow smooth fighter and rising star, also spoke up, and he wasn't holding back. Stevenson thinks Crawford will win. While Stevenson did not provide a breakdown of the styles or game plans, his belief in Crawford says volumes, especially coming from a fighter with a high degree of technical boxing knowledge.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been putting it out since I want to say when he fought Sean Porter. Like back then, if you go watch, it's an interview out there. I had said I think that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez right after he fought Sean Porter. So the idea, I've been thinking about it. I've been saying it before Bud even was.
Stevenson's decision suggests Crawford's rising support within the boxing fraternity, even though the size difference remains a source of contention.
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo with his style.
Crawford's aggressive call-out, centered by his statement about Bivol overwhelming Canelo, has propelled the idea into the mainstream. Whether you think Crawford is overconfident or simply telling the truth, he started a fire in a division that could use some fresh stories. The same thing happened to Spence. The same thing is going to happen to Spence. They'll come up with an explanation for Terence Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez. One thing is certain. If this fight happens, it will not be solely about titles or records. It will be about legacy, pride, and showing who truly deserves at the pinnacle of the sport. With fans, experts, and legends divided on the result, this is the type of fight that might change the boxing scene for years to come. For the time being, the rising anticipation of this prospective conflict may be more compelling than Crawford's comments.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely confident that he's going to get the victory. Second of all, I'm just happy for him and the team. So, you know, the world can see once again why he considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. No, I don't think there's no pressure on Terence, because Terence will fight the way that he's used to fighting. So by saying all that stuff that Turkey say or anybody else say, that doesn't bother Terence not one bit. You know, we train for one way, the way we're going to fight, and that's the way we're going to get the job.
Froch injected a new level of heat to the discourse, explicitly claiming that Terence Crawford's fight with Canelo Alvarez offers a real threat to the Mexican star. From his viewpoint, a Crawford victory would not surprise him at all. Even though Canelo was expected to win the fight, he saw Crawford as a boxer with outstanding mental toughness and unwavering confidence, emphasizing his ability to stay calm and execute under pressure. Froch stressed that Crawford's fight intelligence is among the finest in the sport, giving him a real chance to win.
Although the Brits do want to see it because of the history of Ben Eubank. So out of all the top fights that potentially could happen that I would want to see, and I think that boxing fans would want to see, especially boxing purists, it's going to be Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. It's got to be all day long. I mean, Terence Crawford is just an unbelievable talent, and we've never seen him beat. So when there's somebody who's unbeaten, you always want to see how they're going to cope with somebody who's potentially got a massive favourite. We saw what happened to Amir Khan when he stepped up from welterweight. He got absolutely ironed out. But that's sometimes what happens if somebody's smaller coming up to a bigger weight division. They get clips on the chin. They're not used to taking that punch power. And up at light middleweight, when Terence Crawford stepped up to fight Israel Madrimov.
Jim Lampley recently discussed Canelo Alvarez's earlier career setback to Floyd Mayweather, implying that the incident may have acted as a vital learning chance for the Mexican champion. Lampley thinks that defeat helped shape Canelo into the more refined and mature boxer he is today. He stressed Canelo's extraordinary consistency and technical ability over the years, noting that he had never lost a stoppage fight.
Canelo's smart. Absolutely, he's smart. He knows this business as well as anybody. So no, it's not surprising that Canelo learned from Floyd and has employed some of that in the retention of his career. Canelo still knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest.
So there you have it. The stage is prepared, the opinions are flying, and the excitement is real. From legendary to rising stars, everyone has something to say about Crawford versus Canelo. Is this the fight of a lifetime or a step too far for Bud? Will power win over precision, or will skill rewrite the rules again? Share your opinions in the comments. If you're ready to go to fight in the ring, click the like button. And don't forget to subscribe since the fight talk is only getting started.